Hey guys, it's Max. Today we're taking a look at the Aputure VS-5, the 7-inch Pro monitor. Now if you guys have been following my channel, I did a review on a 7-inch Fine HD a little bit earlier, and that's a lower end, kind of more budget-friendly monitor. And this is a more professional level monitor. So there's a few key differences that you could tell between the two monitors and what makes this worth the extra money, also depending on what you do. So let's take a look at the outside. Now this is a little bit thicker than the Fine HD monitor, and because of that, it also has just a little bit better build quality. You can feel the difference that extra price point allows you, and it also has some extra features that are really nice. So let's take a look at the exterior, then we'll touch on the software features. So here on the outside we have a nice on switch, and then these are your menu buttons on the side here. And then coming over to the back, we have a little USB input. Now this is for upgrading firmware. We have a headphone jack, so if you're using a camera like the 63 or 6500 that doesn't have a headphone jack, you can use this to monitor. Do keep in mind that you're not monitoring like what's actually being recorded to the SD card, but what's coming out through the HDMI, but it's still nice to have and definitely better than nothing, and I did make use of that on a recent shoot. Of course, you guys see we have two battery packs here, which is really a great thing because you can hot swap the battery and keep the display on. So I'll show you guys that right now. So one battery is getting low, you unplug it, plug another one in, and just having the ability just not to worry about battery power is really, really nice. Moving on, here we have a DC input, and it does come with a cable, so you can plug into a big V-Lock battery, a D-tap in there to power off of that, or really there's just a ton of options you can use for this. Here we have a 1/4 inch thread. This is one area that I wish we had more of. I would have loved to have one here at the top, but we do have one here on the side. And of course at the bottom we have the HDMI input, and then we also have a SDI input, which is one big kind of key difference on the Pro level monitor. So the lower entry level monitors won't have that because the lower entry level cameras usually don't offer SDI output to the monitors. So overall, I really like the build quality difference. It feels very nicely built, and I think it's just great for the price point. We have a lot of vents to make sure it stays cool. Now, as you guys see here, we have a different setup with a lot of different software features that help you out when you're shooting video. We have vector scopes, we have our histogram, we have waveform monitors, which I love, and we also have our decibel levels for audio, which is really nice because not a lot of cameras show that on screen, especially the more entry-level cameras, so it's nice to be able to have that. And then we have our display here. So this is a 1920 by 1200 display, nice and crisp and sharp, so it makes it really nice to be manual focusing. And then we have a lot of software features. So one is, let me go out to the full view here. One is false color. Find that button there. So you guys see here, one quick button press away, and you can customize what you want for these buttons. But you can get your false color if you like to expose that way. Personally, I like waveform monitoring more so than false color, but you have that option. Let's get out of that. And then quickly you can switch over to this full setup here with a lot of different features and options. And then coming into the menu here, we have your advanced assist features, and we have our different options that you could turn on and off. So some of the things you can have on screen with a big blown up image, such as your audio levels and your vector scope, but you cannot have your waveform on. You can either have it full screen or this kind of split view. So that's one thing I wish they had, is a small waveform monitoring. But the other software features you can add, and here, let's go pop back in there. Just hold the button down for a few seconds, and you can get in here. So we have histograms, volume bar that you can overlay. You have other features such as center mark, safe areas, image, so you can zoom in if you want to punch in to do focusing. There's different scan modes. You can flip the image, you can freeze it, adjust your color settings. Right now I have brightness at 100, which is about 450 nits, I believe. So it's not a high nit monitor, but it's not bad. It's kind of average in that area. Shortcuts, so this is where you can adjust the 3 different function buttons on the side. and you have other settings. So what do we have here? Language, transparency, input, reset, stuff like that. So pretty standard, but it's nice to have these options, especially on the shoots where you have a little bit of time to set up. You want to make sure you get it right. It really is nice to have a larger monitor and you know your exposure is spot on. You can view your levels and have that. So overall, it's a really nice monitor. One thing they do include is a really nice large hood for it. So the Fine HD does come with one, but most monitors come with this little small hood this way. So if it's really bright outside, you still kind of get reflections, where this one, as you guys see in some of these B-roll shots, it is huge and it completely encloses a monitor. And it also comes with this nice little clip that allows you to quickly take it on and off. So I tested that outside and it was amazing how dark it made it in there. So even in bright sunlight conditions, you can still clearly see what you're recording and you know, any other features that you're using on this monitor. So I definitely like that. Other than that, I think at the price point, it really is a good value. There were a few issues when it came out, such as a little bit more lag on the monitor from the signal coming in. That was addressed in an actual firmware update. So if you buy one of these, make sure you go and check out the latest firmware. They actually include a USB drive in the box, which is really nice for you to be able to update that. One other thing I wish they would have done is included a thinner HDMI cable. I know not all brands actually even include an HDMI cable, which they did, and they actually included two, so you have micro and mini HDMI, but it is thick, it's nice quality, but sometimes when you have a smaller camera like this, it is just a little bit too thick and it kind of gets in the way at times. So that's something that's not a huge deal because you can pick up ones on Amazon for very cheap, and I'll link to a couple of those below so you guys can check them out. I especially like the ones that have a little flexible point here. So if you're using a smaller camera than this NX1, like my A6300 that I'm recording on, or a 6500, it's nice to be able to have a little bit of bend in the cable. So other than that, I really like the monitor. So if you're looking for something in this price point that's going to give you all these nice software features, as well as a SDI input, and that really is a big one for this price point to be able to do that. I think it's a great value. So thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comment section below. I'll do my best to answer them. And you'll have some links in the video description where you guys can check this thing out, find out more specs, prices, stuff like that. And thank the Patreons that support videos like this one. Just for a few bucks a month, you guys can support more videos and get extra perks like exclusive videos, early releases with ads disabled, giveaways, stuff like that. So thank you guys. Huge shout out to all the Patreons, and I'll see you in the next video.